and night was electric in Gdansk, Poland. The Ergo Arena glowed under the bright lights as thousands of Polish fans roared, waving flags in support of their hometown hero, Krzysztof Glowacki. The WBO Cruiserweight title was on the line. This wasn't just another fight. This was a meeting of two unbeaten men, two warriors with everything to lose. On one side, Glowacki, the relentless champion, the man who dethroned Marco Huck in a war to capture the belt. On the other, Oleksandr Usyk, the 2012 Olympic gold medalist, a masterful southpaw with footwork that could make heavyweights look sly. The tension was palpable as Michael Buffer's iconic voice echoed through the arena. Introducing the challenger, Oleksandr Usyk, the Ukrainian entered, calm, composed, his eyes laser-focused. He was here not just to fight, but to make a statement, to prove that the hype surrounding him was real, that he was ready to dominate the cruiserweight division. Glowacki, the pride of Poland, looked across the ring with the heart of a man defending more than a title. He was defending his country's honor. The referee called them together. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Gentlemen, let's do this. The fighters touched gloves. The crowd erupted. This was the kind of matchup boxing fans live for. The skillful challenger versus the rugged champion. The opening bell rang, and history was about to unfold. From the very first round, Usyk's game plan was clear. Keep the fight long, keep Glowacki turning, and never give him a stationary target. The Ukrainian southpaw circled beautifully, pumping out a piston-like jab, constantly touching Glowacki, keeping him honest. The champion pressed forward, trying to turn this into a dogfight, but Usyk's footwork was a thing of beauty. He slid in, landed sharp left hands, then pivoted out before Glowacki could respond. But Glowacki was no paper champion. The Polish fighter dug to the body, trying to sap Usyk's legs early. He came forward with that dangerous counter right hook, the same punch that had knocked out Huck, and landed some solid shots in close. The crowd roared every time their man found the target. The second and third rounds were fought at a furious pace, Glowacki's aggression versus Usyk's precision. It was a fascinating clash of styles. Glowacki wanted to make it rough, to force Usyk to fight inside, to test whether the Olympic champion could handle a true professional brawl. Usyk, meanwhile, kept peppering him with combinations. Double jab, straight left, then stepping around Glowacki's lead foot. His shots were scoring, his rhythm growing, but Glowacki was still dangerous, still throwing power with bad intentions. By the end of the third, it was clear we were witnessing a chess match with fists. As the middle rounds began, Usyk started to settle in even more. His jab became sharper, his combinations longer. Left hand split Glowacki's guard. Right hook sneaked around to the ear. The champion's right eye began to swell. Yet Glowacki refused to back down. He dug to the body with thudding hooks, trying to slow Usyk's movement. Round after round, Usyk was putting on a boxing clinic, not just hitting Glowacki, but controlling the geography of the ring. He stayed just outside Glowacki's power range, then darted in with 3-punch combinations before exiting safely. He smiled through his gum shield, clearly enjoying himself, nodding when Glowacki landed something good. But these were dangerous moments. Glowacki was loading up with every punch, and if one big shot landed clean, it could change everything. Usyk's corner urged him to stay disciplined, to keep his hands up, to box smart. The Polish fans were roaring, urging Glowacki to turn the tide, and at times he did. Glowacki's best moments came when he pinned Usyk to the ropes, ripping to the body and head. But Usyk always had an answer, a quick pivot, a sharp counter, a flurry to regain control. This was high-level championship boxing at its finest. By the 8th and 9th rounds, the fight began to tilt clearly in Usyk's favor. His volume was overwhelming. He was throwing over 80 punches a round, a ridiculous pace for a cruiserweight. Glowacki was game, but his output slowed. The swelling on his face worsened. His counters became more desperate. Usyk, smelling blood, pressed harder. He wasn't just content to win on points. He wanted to break Glowacki's spirit, to make a statement to the entire division. He began letting his hands go in dazzling 4- and 5-punch combinations, Jab, left hand, right hook, left uppercut, all landing clean. The crowd gasped as Glowacki's head snapped back repeatedly. Still, the champion showed incredible heart, firing back whenever he could, refusing to fold. Usyk's footwork was mesmerizing. For such a big man, he moved like a lightweight, gliding around the ring, making Glowacki miss by inches and then making him pay. The Polish fighter tried to rally late in the 10th, throwing everything he had, but Usyk absorbed it, smiled, and fired back twice as hard. It was turning into a masterclass, a display of boxing IQ, conditioning, and mental strength. The final rounds were pure drama. Glowacki, bruised and battered, summoned every ounce of courage. The crowd was on its feet, urging him forward, hoping for a miracle. He marched after Usyk, throwing haymakers, but the Ukrainian was too sharp, too precise. His jab never stopped. His feet never slowed. He was now completely in control. Usyk's combinations were crisp, snapping Glowacki's head back repeatedly. Each exchange seemed to take a little more out of the champion. The 12th round was a showpiece, Usyk putting on a masterclass, circling, landing, and even showboating slightly, smiling as he worked. Both men went toe-to-toe in the closing seconds, a sign of mutual respect and warrior spirit. The final bell rang. The fighters embraced, both exhausted, both knowing they had given everything. The decision was a formality. Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecards. All three score this bout identically for your winner by unanimous decision and the new WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk. The arena erupted. History was made. A new star was born. Usyk smiled, holding the belt aloft. This was the night he arrived, not just as a champion, but as the man who would one day go on to rule the entire cruiserweight division and beyond.